Smart English Podcast.
Okay, before we start, I need to ask you something, and I promise it's not a trap. When was the last time you actually called a friend? Not texted, not sent a voice note, actually called, voice to voice, like it's 2005?
Defined last time. A month? 2 months? Honestly, the only person I regularly talk to on the phone is my mother, and she still answers with, "Oh, you're alive," like it's a surprise.
You're alive. Your poor mother. So, and this is the real question. Scroll through your contacts in your head. How many people there would you actually call at 2 a.m. if you were in real trouble? Not small trouble, real trouble.
2, maybe 3, and one of them is my mom. The rest of the contact list is nostalgia, a museum of friendships that used to be.
A museum of friendships that used to be. That's a heavy sentence. So, how many of those people do you still talk to? Real talk, not birthday messages.
Maybe 2. And here's the strange part. I'm not angry about it. I'm not even sad. It's more like I changed, they changed, and the friendship didn't change with us. It stayed exactly where we left it, like a room we both walked out of. It's like we outgrew it, and nobody said the words.
And that's exactly the thing I've been thinking about for weeks. The friendships we leave behind, not the ones that end in a fight, but the ones that just stop fitting.
Stop fitting. That's the phrase. They're not bad friendships. They're just the wrong size now. And nobody tells you that growing up means leaving behind some of the people you grew up with.
And hey, English learners, welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. If you've just joined us, you've walked into the middle of a quiet confession. Jake has a contact list full of friendships that used to be, and he's not sure how they got there. I'm Emma, and this is Jake, curator of a friendship museum. And that's our topic today, outgrowing old friendships. So Jake, let's start with the obvious question. What does outgrowing a friendship even mean?
It's like outgrowing a pair of shoes. The shoes aren't broken. They're not bad shoes. They just don't fit anymore. A friendship can be perfectly good, kind, warm, full of history, and still be the wrong size for who you've become.
The shoes that don't fit. That's a gentle way to say it, because outgrowing sounds so final, so cold. But the shoes image keeps the warmth. The friendship mattered. It just doesn't fit anymore.
Exactly. And I think that's the first thing people misunderstand. Outgrowing isn't a betrayal. It's not a failure. It's what happens when two people grow in different directions. And that's not anyone's fault. It's just life.
So let's get to the uncomfortable part. How do you know? How do you know a friendship is being outgrown rather than just having a quiet season? You know, a temporary slow period.
I think the signal is effort, or the lack of it. When I stop making the effort and they stop making the effort, and the silence doesn't feel uncomfortable anymore, that's the sign. A quiet season still has a pulse. An outgrown friendship goes quiet in a different way, like a plant you've stopped watering, and neither of you reaches for the jug.
The plant and the jug. I like that. So it's not the silence itself, it's that nobody wants to water it anymore.
Exactly. And the proof is in the relief. When the call ends early and you're relieved it's over, when the plans get canceled and you're secretly happy, that's not a quiet season. That's a friendship that's already finished, waiting for someone to say it.
And there's one more sign I've noticed. The performance. When you start performing the friendship, telling the old jokes, doing the old routines, being the person you used to be, instead of just being yourself, that's when you know.
The performance. That's so true. When you have to put on the friendship, costume included, it's already over. Real friendships don't need acting. They need presence.
I have a story about that. My school best friend, we'll call her Mia. We were inseparable from 11 to 18. Every secret, every heartbreak, every silly dream, every plan for the future. We finished each other's sentences and shared one giant memory bank. We had a whole language of inside jokes. And then we went to different universities. And
And it just faded? The classic story.
not exactly. We tried. For years we tried. Scheduled calls, visits, the whole thing. And every time it was lovely and a little bit wrong, like wearing the shoes. We'd laugh, we'd catch up, and then we'd run out of things to say. And the silence between us got longer each visit.
So what happened in the end? Was there a moment?
The moment was a visit in my second year. We spent the whole day together, and I remember coming home and thinking, that was nice. Not that was amazing, just nice. And I knew that for Mia it was the same. We were two old friends going through the motions, doing the actions without the feeling.
Going through the motions. That's the phrase. And what did you do with that knowledge?
I called her, and I said the thing nobody says. I feel like we're both trying to keep something alive that's already changed. And you know what she said? She said, me too. I've been thinking it for a year. And we both cried a little. And then we let it go. Gently, with love. We still send birthday messages. It just isn't a friendship anymore. It's a beautiful memory that we both protect.
That's the healthiest ending I've ever heard. Mine didn't end that way. Mine ended with resentment.
Tell me, what happened?
My best friend from university, let's call him Dan. We were brothers, shared a flat, shared money, shared everything. And then life happened. I got a job, he stayed in the student world. And slowly, everything I did annoyed him. My job was boring, my new friends were pretentious, my plans were selling out.
Ouch. So he was judging the new you.
Constantly. And I did the worst thing possible. I stopped telling him things. I'd edit my stories before I told him, taking out the parts he'd mock. I was curating myself for his approval, like a museum piece he'd already seen 100 times. And that's when I knew it was over. When I couldn't be honest with my best friend because he'd turned into a critic.
So how did it end? A fight? A fade?
A fade with a fight at the end. We stopped calling, then we stopped replying, and then one day he sent a long message, angry, hurt, listing everything I'd done wrong. And the worst part? He was right about the facts and wrong about the meaning. I hadn't abandoned him. I'd outgrown the version of me he still expected me to be, and he saw that as betrayal.
And did you ever reply to that message?
No, and I've regretted the silence more than the argument. Not replying felt like confirming his version, like I had abandoned him. But I didn't know what to say that wouldn't sound like an excuse, so I said nothing. And the nothing became the ending.
Okay, I want to push back here. Because I think there's a version of this conversation that's too comfortable, where outgrowing becomes an excuse to drop people the moment they're inconvenient.
Ouch. Go on.
Because some friendships deserve fighting for. The one who knew you before you knew yourself. The one who sat with you in the bad years. Just because a friendship is hard doesn't mean it's over. Sometimes hard is a phase, and the friendship comes back stronger.
That's fair. And I think the difference is the friendship hard because of a season or hard because of a direction? A season passes, a direction doesn't. If you're both still trying to meet in the middle, it's a season. If you're both walking away from each other, it's a direction.
And there's a word for the fear of naming it. We're scared to say, this friendship has changed, because it feels like an ending, and endings are hard. But there's another way to see it.
What's that?
That some friendships don't end. They change form. The daily friend becomes the yearly friend. The person you told everything becomes the person you see at weddings. It's not a death. It's a transformation. A change into something different.
The transformation. I like that better than the ending. And I think the skill is being honest about which one you're in, because pretending a transformation is still a daily friendship is how you end up resentful.
Exactly. The resentment comes from the pretending. You keep showing up to a friendship that's already changed form, expecting it to feel like it used to, and it never will. So you get angry, at them or at yourself.
And that's the thing I wish I'd known with Dan, that it was okay to let it change form. I didn't have to fight him or cut him off. I could have said, we're not the same people we were, and that's okay. What are we now? But I was so busy grieving the old friendship that I couldn't see the new one.
So let's talk about the guilt, because I think everyone who's outgrown a friendship carries it. The guilt of, I should have tried harder. Did you feel that with Dan?
Every day for about 2 years. I'd replay it. If I'd called more, if I'd explained better. But here's what I finally realized. It takes 2 people to keep a friendship alive. I wasn't the only one who stopped calling. He stopped too. The guilt was me taking responsibility for something that was never mine alone.
And there's a phrase for that. It takes 2 to tango. It means a situation is never caused by one person alone. Both sides contributed. And that's true of friendships, including the ending of them.
It takes 2 to tango. I've been dancing alone in my guilt for years. Turns out the music stopped for both of us. I just kept dancing in my head.
And there's another layer to the guilt. The fear of being seen as the bad guy, the one who gave up on the friendship. We'd rather quietly fade than be the person who names the ending.
Exactly. And that's why so many friendships die by silence instead of by conversation. We're all so scared of being the one who says it that we let the friendship rot quietly instead. And the silence is crueler than the truth ever could be.
So, if we could go back, what would you have done differently with Dan? What's the lesson you'd hand to your younger self?
I'd hand him one sentence. Ask the question before the silence becomes the answer. I waited so long that the friendship died of unspoken things. If I'd asked, "Are we still us?" a year earlier, we might have saved it, or ended it cleanly. Either would have been kinder than what happened.
So, let's get practical. For someone listening who's got a friendship they think they've outgrown, what do? Is there a conversation worth having?
I think yes, if you can. The brave version is what you did with Mia, naming it gently, out loud, together. We've changed. I love you. What are we now? It's terrifying, but it's kind. It gives the friendship a chance to transform instead of just fading into silence.
And what if the other person gets angry? What if they don't want to hear it?
Then you've still done your part. You were honest. You offered the conversation. If they meet it with anger, that's their processing, not your failure. The alternative, silence, pretending, building resentment, is worse, and it drags on for years, poisoning the memory of something that was once good.
And what about the friendships that survive the conversation, the ones that transform into something new? Because I think those are the quiet wins nobody talks about.
Those are the best ones, honestly. I've one friend from school. We were close, then distant, then close again, then distant again. We've been through 3 cycles, and now we're the twice-a-year friends, and it's perfect. We don't pretend it's more. We just show up fully when we do meet. That's the transformation working.
Okay, and I think we're ready for the words. You know what time it is. Time for Word Tour. For anyone new, this is where we slow down and take a proper look at the best words and phrases from today's conversation.
And today's crop is perfect for this topic. First word, grow apart. It means to become less close over time, until you feel distant. Example, we grew apart after university. No fight, just distance.
And my example, she and her best friend grew apart so gradually, neither of them noticed until it was done. It's the honest, gentle phrase for what we've been describing all episode. And notice it's a process, not a moment. Second word, drift apart.
It means to slowly lose contact with someone, like 2 boats moving apart on the water. Example, after he moved abroad, we drifted apart. And mine, we didn't drift apart because of an argument. We drifted apart because life pulled us different ways.
Third word, fall out with. It means to have a serious argument that ends or damages a friendship. Example, they fell out over money and never spoke again.
And mine, I fell out with my cousin years ago, and honestly, I can't even remember what it was about. It's different from growing apart. Falling out is sharp and sudden. Growing apart is slow and quiet. Fourth word, keep in touch.
It means to stay in contact with someone. Example, promise you'll keep in touch when you move.
And mine, everyone promises to keep in touch, but life gets busy and the promises get quiet. It's one of the kindest, most hopeful phrases in English, and one of the most easily broken. And the last one, cut ties with.
It means to end a relationship completely, to stop all contact. Example, he cut ties with his old friends when he moved overseas.
And mine, I didn't cut ties with Dan. I let them fray slowly, which was somehow worse. Cut ties is the sharp, deliberate version. Growing apart is the quiet one. 5 words: grow apart, drift apart, fall out, keep in touch, cut ties. Now, my favorite part. Say it better.
For anyone new, we take a basic sentence, admit it's perfectly fine, and then upgrade it into the kind of English native speakers actually use. Sentence 1, the basic version. My friend and I became less close over time. Nothing wrong with it. It's clear and correct.
But say it better. My friend and I grew apart. See the upgrade? Grow apart from our word tour is the natural idiomatic way to say it. It's shorter, it's warmer, and it's exactly what a native speaker would say.
Next, basic. We slowly stopped talking. Totally fine, but say it better. We drifted apart.
Drift apart, word tour word, adds the image of 2 boats moving apart on the water. It's gentle, visual, and honest. No blame, just movement. It's the perfect word for a quiet ending.
Next, basic. My friend and I had a big argument. Clear and correct. But say it better. My friend and I fell out.
Fall out, word tour word, is the natural, everyday phrase for a serious argument. Had a big argument is a description. Fell out is a whole story in 2 words, and native speakers use it constantly.
Next, basic. Please don't forget to contact me when you go. Perfectly good. But say it better. Please keep in touch.
Keep in touch, word tour word, is the warm, classic phrase for staying connected. It's shorter, friendlier, and it's one of the most common sentences in English. You'll hear it at every goodbye from now on.
And the last one, basic. I stopped talking to my old friends completely. Nothing wrong with it, but say it better. I cut ties with my old friends.
Cut ties, word tour word, is the stronger, more deliberate way to say it. Stop talking is passive. Cut ties is a decision. 5 upgrades, 5 word tour words. That's the system.
And now, back to where we started. The contact list. The 2 a.m. question. Jake, after everything we've said, would you still call the same people?
No. The list has changed while we've been talking. The 2 people I'd call at 2 a.m., they're still there, but I've made peace with the museum part. Those friendships didn't fail. They were chapters, and chapters are allowed to end.
That's a beautiful way to close it. Chapters are allowed to end, and the book keeps going. So who are the people in your current chapter?
The ones who fit the current me. The ones who don't need me to perform the old version of myself. And honestly, realizing that has made me a better friend to them. I'm not grieving the old friendships anymore. I'm grateful for them and present for the new ones.
And there's something I want to say to anyone whose friendship is in that hard, gray place, the not quite ended, not quite alive zone. It's okay to want clarity. It's okay to ask the question.
Ask the question. That's the bravest thing you can do. Are we still us? It might end a friendship, or it might save it. But either way, you'll know. And knowing is better than the gray.
And that's the phrase I'm taking with me today. Chapters are allowed to end. I've been carrying guilt about Mia for years, like I'd failed the friendship. But the friendship didn't fail. It completed, and I can honor it without clinging to it.
And the phrase I'm taking? It takes 2 to tango. I've been dancing alone in guilt over Dan for 2 years, but the music stopped for both of us, and I'm finally putting the guilt down.
And for everyone listening who's got a Mia or a Dan, a friendship that used to fit and now feels too small, this one's for you. You're not a bad person for outgrowing it. You're not cruel or disloyal or cold. You're just a growing person. And growing means changing, including the people you fit with. The shoes that fit at 15 don't fit at 30, and that's not the shoe's fault.
And if this episode felt useful, or if you laughed at my friendship museum, consider subscribing to the podcast. It's free. It keeps these conversations alive. And honestly, your comments are the highlight of our week.
We really do read them. So tell us, have you outgrown a friendship? Did you name it, or did it fade? And what did you learn? We'd love to hear your story.
And one small challenge before we go. This week, look at your contact list, the museum part. Pick one person you've been meaning to reach out to and actually do it. Not the one who hurt you, the one who made you smile. One message. That's it.
And with that, take care, keep learning, keep speaking. And remember, friendships that end aren't failed friendships. They're finished chapters, and you're allowed to turn the page.
You're allowed to turn the page. That's the last line of the episode because nothing can follow it. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone, and may your contact list be full of people who fit the you that exists right now.
See you next time, everyone. And if you're sitting on a bench of old memories today, thank the people who sat there with you. And keep walking. Take care.
And one more thing, the bench. Every old friendship gave you something, a joke you still tell, a song you still love, a strength you still carry. Take those with you. The bench was worth it.
The bench was worth it. I'll remember that. Thanks for being with us, everyone, and take care out there.